Today we would like to talk about rich services cloud clients and the models that they represent and some example technologies that have been implemented around this model. So the model around rich services cloud clients are that your clients are targeted at your hardware. You get the best out of your hardware with respect to 3D rendering, local caching, network, local processing, local storage, whilst being able to enjoy the benefits of cloud applications. And by taking advantage of these capabilities, your rich services cloud clients look and feel like desktop clients, although that they're partitioning and using cycles from other machines. Let's take this for an example. We have a NASDAQ application being able to go through market information around, for example, Intel stock trades. With this application here, we've been able to put together a multi-panel 3D experience with the ability to scroll back and forth along, let's say, the existing trades of a day, be able to highlight details and separate panels, be able to even dive down into bids and offers for that day, and have it within a rich experience that can be offlined. So here we can actually see that when we replay this with this port of the Market Replay app, we can go along a timeline of bids and offers, look at each of the details associated with those bids and offers, have the changing landscape of that trade reflected. And then, since I'm using a rich services cloud client, I can offline this and we're able to carry it on without any interruption. The data that I'm looking at here, that I'm working with, has been cached. It's not that I'm caching a database or an excessive amount of data for some analysis. I'm caching what I'm viewing so that now I can take this, go on to an airplane, be able to work with my application, and when I need to be able to update it or post my changes, I can just simply then switch my Wi-Fi card back on and be able to reconnect. Now, if we compare this, for example, with a typical web browser experience, very thin client web browser experience,
nice to know.
You can see that it's very disjointed, right? You're able to see what in essence is one panel at a time. If you want to go into any sort of details, you have to switch your context. And that is one of the areas where the user experience, this immersive experience from the rich services cloud client, comes in. You have an environment, an experience that is entirely context bound. So now you're able to follow along the contexts with respect to your experience rather than having to constantly switch pages in order to get a view of your data. Now let's decide, okay, here, every time I have to do something with this web client, right, on this thin client, I have to be connected. I cannot unplug this and be able to do anything with it. Right? It's not going to be able to look up any data that I have, per my view. But yet I can do this with my rich client. And now let's say that I want to actually make a change and look at a different set of data. You're going to see that I'm going to have to pull down some additional data from the cloud since I'm reconnected. But once I pull it down, it's going to be available to me online or offline. And we're seeing here, it's pulling together this snapshot, essentially a snapshot of the market data.
I don't know if it's the user.
And once it loads, I'm able to replay it. As you can see here, I'm loaded up now the NASDAQ market information. I'm able to perform the same replay whether I'm connected or not. And what you'll see here is I've attempted to make another report run with Google shares. That report run, because it's performing a download, isn't going to complete with me offline, but I'm still able to work with everything else that I have in my current context. So this provides for a couple of factors that are associated with rich services cloud clients. Immersive experiences that are tailored to your hardware capabilities. And again, we're not writing applications to your hardware, we're writing applications that can take advantage of your hardware features that can be ported across any platform. At the same time, these are protected. So now my data can be encrypted, can be safeguarded onto this machine, and this machine can actually serve as a endpoint for my work. So if I'm sitting next to a colleague and I decide I need to be able to share some work with my colleague, even though we're not connected to a server, we can still interact on a peer-to-peer basis. And then lastly, this example illustrates how one can customize applications to your particular use case. So I have these sets of panels. I can configure these to be hidden. I can decide I only want to have summary data, some details, zoom in on a particular part of a chart. And all of these capabilities, again, they're not written to an OS, they're not written pinned to hardware, but they're using an environment, a rich services cloud environment that allows me to take advantage of the best capabilities that my hardware can offer.